Hello and welcome to the Ireland Rugby Social 2026. Gavin Andrews, Conor Murray, back again. Same old story, but a new and exciting guest and a new and exciting
what
studio.
a way to start it.
Yeah, we're in Belfast with Ian McKinley.
Lads,
Ian,
Hello.
welcome.
hello,
How are we?
hello. How are we keeping?
Thanks for coming.
No problem. Great
You
to
two
be here.
go way back, don't you?
Go back a fair bit,
Mhm.
yeah. Probably
2009,
9,
yeah.
under
19s.
19s,
19s, 20, and then 20s.
1920s, yeah, and then a few like, Munster A games, and then Conor obviously took a different direction, and my direction
went to
went
the
a
Azzurri.
little bit different. So
But you were
Yeah,
Leinster originally, is that correct?
yeah,
So
born
would
and
you
bred.
played against each other before you played with each
Just
other?
in A games, wouldn't it?
Would we have played against each other? Yeah, we would have played at school level. Would it have been?
He was in the bench at school.
Yeah, I watched you play.
He was
yeah,
third choice
against
for the
Munchins,
Irish under 20s.
Yeah.
A scrum half, was he not?
Yeah.
No.
He was.
I was. We've been through this
No, I
before. It's
wasn't.
another stab.
He was third
But he
choice
got
I'd half,
there,
and
though.
I was third choice I'd
Yeah,
half.
so that's what we bonded.
You
Yeah,
bonded,
yeah.
yeah.
Standing behind the post, kicking the balls back out to people.
No, but I don't know. We would have played against each other first?
Yeah, it's at club level.
Yeah, school or whatever,
Yeah,
and
then
then probably together the Irish
because we were
20s. And then,
19s clubs.
yeah,
Were you clubs?
yes,
Yeah,
actually,
it was
it's
split,
coming to me
wasn't
now.
Yeah.
First ever time playing against you was in Musgrave Park under 19s clubs, I
Yeah,
think.
in that Interpro series.
And you guys won.
Yeah,
Yeah,
naturally.
yes,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Um,
And I think,
yeah.
that was like the first time.
That was it, yeah. Because it's, you go, was school still around?
So it was a bit weird because
It was a bit of a split.
yeah, so the school that I went to was not a big school, so I missed out on they went on a tour to South Africa or something, and they were like, right, come and do this clubs thing. So I think I was the only guy from school.
Oh, lovely. Nice.
Still
You go
doing
down
it.
to Musgrave Park there, we'll go to...
Exactly, and
Nice.
had the crap kicked out of us or whatever, and then we
Then
just went
into-
on to the 20 stuff, didn't we?
Did we go Irish 19s? Charlie McElwain, coach?
Yeah, there was a couple of games. There was
Yeah, there was only like a...
Italy and France.
yeah.
Yeah, and we just was training Malahide.
Yeah.
Lovely and windy.
Beautiful pitch to
Yeah,
kick on.
You'd literally, perfect for your box kicking,
Yeah,
perfect
yeah.
for my drop goals. you could literally,
A few tight spirals, I remember.
you could only pass
in
one
Malahide.
one side of the pit, it had to be
Yeah.
either from right to left.
Yeah, we do an attacking move from the left.
exactly.
and then
Whereas the rest
other
of the time
side
we just truck it up because the wind was so bad.
So you're responsible for my box kicking name. That's where it all started. That's where it
Yeah.
roots from.
and they couldn't find out that I couldn't pass off my left hand, which was perfect.
Yeah, you just turn around and show it.
Exactly,
Yeah,
just dummying
You've
about
done
yourself
well
and just say you have to adapt and evolve, don't you?
You do. You find a way.
No, but that was the first time. And then 20s did the Six Nations.
Yeah.
Did
They were great days.
Bit more
Down in-
pressure with the 20s than the club stuff.
Oh, the Irish one, the national 20s stuff.
Gets real, doesn't it?
Yeah, I think
gets a bit serious. Then.
Yeah, and then did you do you did the National Academy
National
stuff,
Academy. Yeah, we were.
which was a
members
flash
of
in
the
the
National
pan
Academy.
sort of thing. So that
We
was
really. That didn't really get going.
It
Remember,
did
we met
not.
in that running track in Dublin. Oh,
so there was Santry,
yeah.
and
It's
we
the
stayed in
Santry running
DCU.
track.
We stayed in DCU,
Yeah,
and there was from Ulster there was Paddy McAllister, Nevin
yeah.
was doing
Everyone
it,
was there as well.
but
yeah,
there was 10 or 15 of us or whatever.
It
and-
felt elite. It did. I'm gonna say.
Well, he got put in a
Did for
pedestal.
while.
I don't know if you remember, but I certainly remember where Alan Clark puts up the people in your position. So it's
Yes.
you had this is the top person, so it would have been Raj or whatever, and then beneath that there would have been
So you
a
were
few
ranked.
names exactly, and then you were all of a sudden you're fifth, and it's a couple of injuries, and you could find yourself in a Six Nations squad.
coming
and I
around.
was
Yeah. We did, but we didn't meet up that often with that.
No,
national
it was
squad.
it was
there was a
literally
big testing day in that Santry
yeah.
place, and we did the yo-yo bleep, some horrible running testing.
Yeah, I
day.
can't remember which one. 150s was it?
Maybe
The
150s.
older school
It was
one.
150s.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's how far do you go out again?
Sick. There was sick.
Like a Bronco type thing.
It's
Not
like
quite.
a shuttle.
It was a 150 meter sprint.
Yeah,
We had
and
to
you
go
go five.
five.
Yeah, five times. Yeah, it's
Nice.
proper.
But things have evolved. Obviously now.
vomiting stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. So we did that once or twice, and then
Yeah, and you
then
got
from-
kit. I remember getting the kit.
Absolutely.
I remember.
Well, you do
it.
everything for kit. Don't
Yeah,
you?
yeah. Back then, we got a white sleeveless gym top, but it said the Irish
Initials,
Press.
did it?
No, it said National Academy.
You
or
were
something.
not high up the pecking order.
Remember? Yeah, I didn't. Yeah, the lads
Yeah.
got. Yeah, they didn't show me a list of how far away we were, but
Yeah. No, but that was that.
That was
And
that, yeah.
then just moved on to the 20s. And the 20s, I don't know, yeah, as you said, like it gets real. Like I suppose it's like you're training pretty much like a pro, scouting teams or whatever, seeing how you're going to play and all that sort of stuff. And you get good crowds, like, I mean...
Yeah, down in Athlone.
Down in Athlone, and then
Dewberry
even
Park.
more so, actually, when you went away, like if you played, I can't remember, Scotland.
We played Wales away, Scotland
Wales
away,
away,
probably
Scotland.
Italy away.
And
But
Italy
then,
away,
yeah,
yeah.
the
But
way
like got
fixtures
good
are.
crowds at it, and like it sort of started to feel a bit real then, didn't it?
Yeah.
How at 21 are you dealing with it? Presumably you're traumatized if you're not playing, let alone having to deal with a rugby career over.
Yeah. I can't imagine it. Yeah, I just think looking back, they are so formative, those years, and it can be if a coach likes you, or injury obviously, or a whole host of factors that can come into just like breaking through. And I got lucky as well in that after that final Magnus League one where I got Declan Kidney just said come on in and train, and then a whole load of things have to go your way. So I don't think it makes you big-headed or anything. I especially looking back now, a lot of things have to fall in place for careers to go certain ways, positively or negatively. So
you have to have obviously talent, you have to work hard and all that stuff. But all those factors do certainly come into it 100%. But
How did you feel in amongst all that? You must have felt just very hard done to.
No, because like thankfully you have two eyes. It's different if it's your neck or you think of Felix, who had the two spinal injuries. Various other guys, that have way worse injuries. And I mean, like people say to you, God, your eye looks awful and all. Like, oh God, people are squeamish about eyes. And I mean, freak accident and
it wasn't it? Yeah, just UCD training.
Game.
Sorry,
in the AIL, and just teammate stood in it, and you got those big, thick second row studs that go into your eye, and your eyeball bursts, and that will do it. But you think of so many freak injuries that happen. It just happened to be a piece of metal, an eye, and all coming together.
So many times in rugby where lads get cut so close to the eye, and you wonder how.
My mum says that, like, not because of my injury, but even beforehand, she'd be like, you see, guys here, and you'd think like how many times there's so like near misses or whatever, and unfortunately that just happened to be
exactly
that just happened to be my one.
It is uncanny. That's the amount of lads who get so close, like in the here even, or like right on the side. Whereas you probably you didn't see it coming with a, you know what I mean? Like sometimes you can. It was just the luck just wasn't there. Listen,
yourself, when you're on a rugby field, things happen in a split second, don't they?
Yeah.
And like, if I'm to go into the slight detail about it, like. Was in a ruck and was ripping, like I was illegal because I was trying to rip the ball off someone on the ground.
Yeah.
That old
one.
Classic.
You used to do that a little bit.
The classic out half thing.
Macho man on the floor.
Apparently. So went for the rip and just found myself on, like, you find yourself on your back, and just in that second just got a kick, like just got a thud, and like I thought it was deliberate because it was just like a straight down action, and the difference between good old school raking to a proper stud or a stamp, and this was like a straight on. So like I thought it was deliberate, and like thank God it wasn't, because you're getting into murkier waters if that's the case.
Of course, you have to be careful.
Exactly. But listen, it's just one of those things, and I suppose to answer you, Gav, probably like if I wasn't able to get back and play the second time, you'd probably be a lot grumpier as a person, and maybe wouldn't applaud guys as much, or maybe be a bit more critical of players, and just have that sort of maybe bitter
chip on
taste.
Your shoulder a bit.
So thankfully that is absolutely not the case, because I could see how easy that certainly would be.
And Italy is where it all kind of takes off.
So I moved over as a coach, so like as well as playing, like love coaching, like love sport in general. I suppose if I couldn't be like a rugby player, I wanted to be a rugby coach, and the youth development sort of side of things like really interested me. So went to like a pocket of Italy where rugby's not big. So it's Udine, where Udine's football team is, but like rugby's not a big thing like at all. You're close to Slovenia, and don't think Slovenian rugby's that great, is it? So
So
like, not that I was ever say you got to your height in terms of names, or Brian O'Driscoll or Johnny or anything like that. But you did have like certain moments where you go into a pub or you go into a rugby club and guys would be like, God, you were onto something there,
or
or
pats on the back.
Yeah, and like Italy was totally different because no one had like clue who you were, and like the Leinster name was a big thing. It was like, oh, this guy used to play for Leinster, so that added a bit of weight to things. But nobody knew who you were, and that's exactly what I wanted, because it was like you're trying to
rebuild, or
and forge out sort of what direction you want to go in. So yeah, did the coaching, and then sort of when I broke down with my brother, he went back to Ireland and met a whole load of people, and essentially, what you see on the table there is the result of a lot of hard work, and found a manufacturing company in Italy, out of all places.
No way, just by chance?
By chance, yeah. Like we were thinking we were going to have to travel every, the four corners of the earth.
For factories, etc.
Factories, the brightest people in the world, the highest technology or whatever. Like World Rugby offices, IRB offices were at the time, St. Stephen's Green. So my brother could just pop in, or I got a flight back or whatever. And Bologna, one of the cities, which was about 4 hours from where I was living, with a manufacturing company, and all the geniuses we found were in the National College of Art and Design, UCD,
stuff,
all that sort of stuff. And that's how it all sort of panned out. And then I started back playing club rugby at the lowest ebb. So sort of when 2014, what were you up to? You were probably...
We won the Six Nations 2014, with Drico's last game, remember,
So if you picture, I suppose
so that's when you're starting to...
So 2014, you're celebrating Drico's, the France game.
Yep.
Celebrating that, I in March, then was playing the lowest level of Italian rugby, and like whenever I do a few talks and that sort of thing, it's like some of my part-time work, and I use the image of players arriving at the game. And like the way like nowadays you're all focused, you've got your music, or you find your way as you go along, and you've got the bus and you've got the police getting all out of the way or whatever. Guys were getting out of their cars, they're just driving to the game, and no word of a lie, like they would have bag of Mackie D's,
genuine,
and like a beer, and with like a cigarette in their mouth, and like the car keys just hanging, and like big fat bellies or whatever, and then they're just there for the crack or whatever. So that's
your mindset's slightly different.
Like with about 2 blades of grass on the pitch or whatever, and about 3 people at the game. But like that was your starting point.
You really did have to start from the ground up.
But I suppose in some ways it shapes you a little bit. But that was the start, I suppose, of like the Italian journey heading to.
How long did you play club rugby at that level then? Before
I played 10 games. So I started back in March and then finished up probably in June, because we got to the promotion bit. But like I'm talking like J5. I don't even think it was a J5.
You carried them to the promotion bit.
Well, funny enough, do you know what? Like, do you know the way, like...
But you were uneasy then? That's obviously your first time playing again. Were you uneasy of the eye and like worried about the other? And
even the kicking?
Obviously, like I've heard you talk about peripheral vision and all that.
Yeah. Well, it doesn't help in left-footed and you're blind in your left eye. That's sort of like a starting point. Right? How can you try and overcome that obstacle? Because like I used to love to do spiral kicks.
I know.
You see, like
chatting about before.
Sam Prendergast, like he's brilliant at them. But like I used to love. That was like my favorite kick. And like, but like I put the ball out now, and like I can only see half of it. So like, I was like, right, okay, how am I going to do this? So like, it took me years to try, and I never actually mastered it. But like, you have to try and think, I suppose, a little bit differently.
Retrain
like,
your brain,
well, like catch a ball. If I pass you the ball, what are you doing? Just catching the ball, aren't you? But like your depth perception. So I remember like being in hospital, post the first surgery, whenever it happened, and like I had a big tub of water here or whatever, jug of water, and like I went to go pour, and I missed it by about like 3 feet or whatever. So like that came back as time went on, but like it still like wasn't like perfect or whatever. So you're just trying to have to think of like, okay, instead of like catching the ball, I have to like put my hands in my line of sight to like go towards the ball and catch it, if you get me. And
that would have to be a decent pass. So like, what about like a tough pass to catch? Or
so you can imagine playing the lowest level of Italian rugby, the passes were not exactly always so like again, you just had to sort of adapt and all that sort of stuff, and it was more just, I suppose, seeing if you were up for it, in terms of, and like giving feedback about the goggles and all that. Listen, it was never going to be perfect. It was like, the first mobile phone that came out,
trial and error,
this high, wasn't it? And as time goes on, it goes down, and now it's getting. So the same with sort of these, like whenever the first model comes out, like it's not going to be perfect. Will it ever be? But it was more just seeing, are you up for taking contact? Are you up for the fight essentially? And thankfully
you were, obviously.
Yeah,
that jersey behind you.
Yeah. The lads were going to put it round the other way, probably to hide the crest and then show what number is actually on the back.
What is on the
22.
22. Yeah.
We've all been there, my friend.
We've
all been there, my friend.
Some of us haven't made a match day 23.
Store bought one.
Yeah, but so no, that was.
So what's that? About 4 months of club rugby.
4 months of club rugby. Of that sort of
is
level.
Word out then in Italy, like.
Yeah, so I got myself an agent and was like, okay, I want to go for this. And then, like, obviously the standard in comparison to Ireland, like, is not the same.
Yeah.
The top Italian club level is probably the equivalent of 1A or maybe the English Championship.
Okay.
Not every team. So, like, that was probably a decent level. So I got signed to that and sort of fitted in a lot more actually to play than the lower level stuff, because the example I was going to use, when you get to a ruck, there's like a pod there.
It's just
I get the ball, and if I was to play in the Ireland team, if I was just a substitute with Johnny, of course, like, his decision making is second to none and everything. But like
you're in a framework, aren't you?
You know who you do. You get the ball at the lowest level of Italian rugby, and you just go.
Nobody have to do this all myself.
Nobody there, or you could have 10 people there.
Yeah.
So actually, found it so.
Are they in my blind spot, or are they? No, they're just not there.
No, but funny, like you talk to the pro player. Please make as many blind jokes as you want.
Yeah, it's allowed. You did sign off on this, yeah.
Oh, absolutely. I signed a disclosure before. But yeah, like you'd say that to your lads at a professional level. You'd be like, okay, guys, if we're doing like off this side, like you never wanted to make an excuse about it, but just being like, just to be aware, like if I'm doing this, like a just a hip pass or whatever, which you'd normally do, like the no look, excuse the pun.
Yeah.
Like
you're even at it now.
Just give me, I've given you full leverage. Just give me something to tell me you're like there or whatever. Whereas like the amateur guys or whatever, like they just struggle to get from one, the side of the pitch.
That's the last thing on their minds.
Exactly. So actually you learn how to sort of fight or flight mode. You sort of learn how to deal with it. So yeah, that was sort of the trajectory. And then, won't go into the whole debacle about not being allowed to play in Ireland and England and France. So that was sort of the next level, but that stopped me being signed by the bigger clubs or whatever, because realistically, who's wanting to sign an out half that's half blind and wears goggles and can't play in all the games? It's not really an attractive proposition, is it? Like, so
it's a tough one to get over the line.
How do you do that to a CEO? Yeah. Show us your checkbook there. So yeah, that sort of drew up. That's probably actually the biggest thing of the whole story, is how sort of our family unit came together and sort of brought down I won't say a federation in the IRFU or anything like that, but got them to change the legislation and the law.
That's a huge thing,
So now these goggles are in law, and there's very roughly 2,500 people, adults and children, that now use these. So that's 2,500 in the world. Yeah. So that's 2,500 people who either had never played rugby, thought that they couldn't, or did play rugby and then through their eye condition or whatever felt that, because adults previously you weren't allowed to wear any eye protection.
Of course,
so this is sort of the legislation that we had to go
That's
up
huge.
against.
So really, like, obviously your journey, but to be able to do that for 2,500 people.
Yeah, well, it took 5 years to get that sort of passed through. So they came in 2014, started playing, and then finally in 2019 they got signed off. So now if people are wanting to use them, they're the ones. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So what did it mean to you then to finally pull on an international jersey, albeit the one that you maybe hadn't dreamt of as a kid?
Yeah, no, of course. And listen, there's a lot of debate, isn't there? And I don't know what, a lot of debate in terms of the 3-year, now 5-year residency rule. And I suppose, like, my thing would be is that Italy gave me a second chance in terms of giving me a home, picking me up whenever I needed it. That's not to say, like, Leinster were brilliant whenever I first retired. Like, they kept me under their wing. Players pooled together to give me a holiday voucher and stuff. Like,
go away, really, yeah. Not surprising, but
didn't need to do that, but like, that's top end stuff. And But Italy, like, I suppose they were the first ones to sign up to the goggles. They were the first ones to, let me play at a semi-professional, then professional level and all that sort of stuff. So I really did, and still do. Like, people ask me all the time, who are you going to support between Ireland and Italy? Well, I'm going to support Italy. Any other game, I'm going to support Ireland. But like
what
that,
they did for you,
as you said, like, that's the jersey. I didn't dream as a kid, like, I'd be in the garden, like, picturing playing against England, like, with the green jersey, be singing Aaron Vian and all that sort of stuff. But things happen in life, and that's I'm just as proud pulling on the green jersey of the Irish under-20s, and that's the most proud jersey I've ever pulled on, So means an awful lot. And I know people will go, residency rule and all that sort of stuff, but that's that's certainly how I felt and all that sort of stuff. It was weird playing against Ireland. Yeah, that's an interesting dynamic. First game would have been Chicago Field. You weren't playing.
Yeah, that was 2017.
Yeah. So hearing Ireland's call and that sort of thing, I suppose you don't really know what to do.
Strange, obviously.
Yeah. And I suppose you sort of do a little bit of prep beforehand potentially, but like, you don't really know how you're going to feel until that happens. But
it's weird. Obviously, yeah.
Well, horrible because it got thumped by 50 points, and like,
I do remember that. Yeah,
I came on. I think it was like 35-7 or something like that. So like, with 20 minutes to go, it's like, or half an hour. I think it came on like, in the 50th minute or whatever. Yeah. Realistically, is it going to turn around to be a 36-35 classic? Probably not. So it's like, it's just trying to save face.
Go out there and enjoy it.
Getting the kicked out of you or whatever.
Yeah,
so didn't enjoy it from that standpoint. But I don't know. Weird. It was probably weirder than going to the Aviva. We did played against Ireland in the pre-2019 World Cup. Yeah. Again, lost that one. Sort of mixed emotions, to be honest. It's sort of hard to describe because you're listening to the national anthem from the place that you grew up in and all that sort of stuff. But I suppose when you're on the pitch, you're just trying to do the best you can.
It's all gone then, isn't it?
Yeah. You're just trying to win a game of rugby,
What about some of the debates around tens in some of the countries? So it's pretty nailed on in Scotland.
Who's the starting 10?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And in Italy. But outside of that, let's work through, given that you're here and you can put your head above the parapet. We'll come to Ireland.
Okay.
But England, who would you start at 10?
Well, they haven't gone with Finn Smith, have they? Recently enough?
Not really, yes. I think it's...
Well, the Lions kind of clouds it all a little bit, perhaps, but...
Yeah. George Ford has had a...
Yeah. Did you go Marcus Smith?
No,
they're shaking their heads.
No, I don't think so, because he's an unbelievable player. Like, he can do so many things that other 10s can't. But I don't know. I think international rugby is, you can say I'm wrong, but like, it can tend to be a bit more boring at times, and you need someone to manage that ship a little bit more pragmatically, which I think George Ford does. That doesn't mean to say that the best or most exciting 10 shouldn't start. I just think, even with Finn Russell, he's always had this X factor, but he has definitely learned how to manage a game better. Because in international rugby, it can be that sometimes it's more about less risk at times than in a club game. I feel at times.
Yeah, but I mean, I remember Dan Bigger say, like, I mean, a lot of it in international rugby is your discipline, your game management, your kicking game, and like, I don't know, like, you probably out halves, you probably play the same as scrum half, probably, wouldn't you? Play your best rugby from 30 to 35, would you?
Sort
of. I
mean, maybe, late 20s to 30.
Yeah, like, you've got that all, that experience or whatever. Yeah. Maybe, like, George Ford is just reliable, isn't he? I love Finn Smith. Like, I would just play him anyway.
Not to jump on it. Yeah, I think I agree. I think he has, for such a young player, he's got that balance a bit. Like, he has X factor as well. You saw it against loads of teams. With Leinster last year in the Aviva, he was everything.
Brilliant.
He was unbelievable that day. But it was both. It was X factor and a kind of a old head and young shoulders.
So we give you an answer, Gav, did we?
I think we're going with
We've done well there. We've danced around everything.
France, lads. Intimac, Jalabert.
I think.
Ramos at a push.
No, Intimac is the easy one for me.
I think if they're both
Ramos 15
fit, then I think Intimac still has a bit on Jalabert. Yeah,
I think Jalabert's goal kicking is a little bit just from watching him, because like Joey's down in Bordeaux now and just keeping an eye on Jalabert a bit, and he's got that X factor that you're talking about. But I know Ramos is going to goal kick, but just in terms of his management, I don't know. Yeah, Intermac for me.
You can't wait to ask about the Ireland one.
I know.
Let's just go with it. We'll leave Wales.
He wasn't even listening to our
Yeah,
answers.
he was just like,
Well, let BBC
he was
Wales
looking at the
worry
clock.
about Wales.
How much time can I spend on Crowley versus Prendergast?
Well, that's the key point.
Do you get asked about it all the time?
All the time.
Yeah,
It's so hard on them.
He still won't say, though.
No.
Oh, okay.
No.
Well, I'll give you, so whenever I'm asked about it, it's like, which camp are you in? I go, I'm in both their camps.
Yes,
Because
we're both on the fence here, so like we're sitting up, we're not getting
well,
up.
I'll get off the fence in the end.
Okay,
but
alright, okay.
But like, I think Ireland are lucky to have two players like that. Obviously have their strengths.
Let's not forget Harry Byrne.
Yeah, well, he's been thrown in the mix now.
Yeah, he's definitely in the conversation. Yeah,
Honestly,
I think he'll be in the squad.
100%.
Yeah, 3 of them.
Yeah, and then it just depends on what way they view who's coming off the bench or who.
Yeah,
anyway,
it's a nightmare for Andy, and it's also like it's a good nightmare to have.
Of course,
they're two class players. The way November went, I think he just prefers Sam. Sometimes the coach has a feeling. I think that's what he's gone with, because Jack was playing, like especially that Croke Park game, and the way he started the season has been playing really, really well. So has Sam. They're both, again, we've said it, they're both class players. They're going to play class. I just think that Andy might have a feeling, like sometimes it's very hard to describe those feelings sometimes, and he just wants to go with Sam. I think he'll go with Sam. The November when Jack started in New Zealand, which was well earned because of his start of the season. Then it was Japan he started as well,
and then Sam started the last two. So whether that was preempted, I'm not sure.
Whatever the first two games, I thought, like, you have Australia, South Africa, the boys are neck and neck. Now again, Andy's a world class coach; he knows more than us. But I thought he would have gone. He did go Sam for Australia, didn't he?
Yep.
And then I thought Jack would be given South Africa like a kind of a trial for both. But again, is Test rugby too big to do that? Like you pick your best players. I don't know.
Do you think then in Six Nations he will go horses for courses, depending on the opposition, or does he know now who his starting 10 is? And
do you think I know my view, but like, can you chop and change 10s so much, or do you need one for consistency? Just for like you're talking.
Well, I mean, listen,
passes and timing and
obviously to have someone who's driving the car, guiding the ship, that helps.
Yeah,
of course it does. Chopping and changing, I suppose, doesn't install any confidence and like
certainty and
and
players around you more so than yourself as a player, isn't it?
If you're to look back with it, maybe at England with Borthwick, maybe like a year and a half ago, was chopping and changing between Marcus Smith and then Finn Smith comes in at the end and then does really well and all that sort of stuff. Does that lead to a bit of continuity? I don't know. I mean,
very hard to look at games and see, is that the reason why a team doesn't tick?
I think it's obvious that Farrell's favourite is Prendergast.
Yeah, I would agree.
I think that's and his comments, I suppose, were interesting. That all the stuff that Sam does like outweighs this tackling.
Which was nice the way he responded to that, because about the media got obsessed with his a perceived weakness of his game, something that he's actually looks like he addressed. He's been better in that area. I think it's for the first part of the season, but it was nice to see what Andy said and just be like, focus on what he's doing brilliantly.
But that shows how good a coach he probably is.
Yes, of course.
Probably.
Absolutely.
He's able to manage those situations. But I think he is. If he's thinking ahead to the World Cup and knowing how many test matches, there's only like something like 17 tests until next World Cup or something like that. That's come the 17 tests. I'd still think that Sam is probably his man that he'll probably go with. But Harry Byrne's throwing his. If he keeps that up, Harry Byrne will throw his
but what I think again, like we started this chat about the 10s. What a blessing to have Jack. Jack is there or thereabouts with Sam, and it might just be a coach's feeling, like we spoke about. 17 test matches. If something happens, one of them, the other. That's what I think is a good way of rounding that point up. Is if something happens, one of them, whatever 10 is there, you still think Ireland have the same similar chance as with the other fella there,
and that's
whereas that hasn't always been the case with 10s in Ireland.
From being in that position at 21 to mentioning those names, it's given you a lot, this sport. You've given a lot to it.
Well, it's sport in general, doesn't it? I mean, it gives you so much, and it gives you friendship, it gives you highs and lows in life. It definitely shapes you. But yeah, rugby goes through, it's bad press, with concussion, with rule changes and how it's played and viewed. But yeah, it gives you a huge amount of discipline in life, doesn't it? It gives you enjoyment, gives you a social aspect to it, and teaches you how to sort of find your voice as well. And that doesn't necessarily mean you're ranting and raving, but like you're, to stand up for yourself and all that sort of stuff. So yeah, teaches you to win and lose.
Yep.
So if you get the movie script sorted and the BBC put the funding in, who's going to play?
Well, who's
Ian
got
McKinley?
who's an actor with a wonky eye?
Is there one?
There is.
Is there? You've looked into this?
No, I haven't, but I'm just trying.
His name is got a cast list.
No, absolutely not. There will be no movie, guys. Don't worry.
Who would it be though?
Trying to think.
Absolutely
Paul Mescal.
not.
There you go.
Danny DeVito.
Oh, come on.
Paul Mescal's a good shout. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll go with Mescal.
Yeah.
Cheers, lads.
Mescal and McKinley.
I'll take that as the biggest compliment ever.
Yeah.
Superstar. Thanks for your time today.
Thank you,
Thanks,
sir.
lads.
And good luck
Appreciate
with
it.
Six Nations.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Forza Italia.
You had to
Had to
do
get
it.
it in.
We had to do it.